Welcome back to Farther Frontier version 1. The full game has released and there is a lot for me to cover. In the first two episodes which you can find in the video description below, I showed you the basics. First, how to set up a small city with really the basics, things like water, food and a bit of firewood to survive the winter. Then we started expanding into a lot more of the still basic but production. So we have, for example, the basket shop, or we are starting to smoke our food so that we can conserve it longer, because otherwise, especially things like vegetables and fruits, they don't last long right now. So we try to get our protein or meat to stay a bit longer. We have also things like the Fletcher building, or we're making shoes, right? Cover shop. Additionally, we've also started to make some advanced resource or advanced materials, the wood planks. This is in this building over here. We're transforming our logs into wood planks. We have also started to show how to put, limits on some of your productions. For example, the firewood over here. We could do the same for the wood planks, where at some point, maybe we don't want to have too many, keep some logs in. But more importantly, we have in the last episode started to use the market. With the market over here, we can have storage of a lot of our needs and luxuries for people, and we can start getting some gold. We have 26 gold to be precise right now. It's based on the number of houses basically that you have in range. We are still making enough food so far, but definitely we will want to start moving into field, and this is why we have started over here a first pretty big field. It is going to soon be ready. Only 300 kind of element of work are still needed. There's no resources needed at this point. It's just kind of work hands that are working over here, but they're getting there. They're getting this. It started at more than 4,000 and it's now almost down to 0. In this episode, the key thing I'm gonna want to do is to upgrade our town center to the next level. We already have what it takes, but it takes just a bit more resource. So we're gonna wait for that. Additionally, we're going to then be able to upgrade our shelters into level 2 houses, as long as we get this tier 2 built, and also a couple of desirability bonus reach 30. So you can see this one is at 19, for example. This one is at 20, and we need to make it to 30 with some decorations. So it's the first thing we're gonna probably work on right now. So we'll press B and get to our decorations over here. We have access to quite a few, including small plaza over here, the garden trail, medium garden. So this one is actually too big because I left only one space over here. But yeah, we have quite a bit of choice. This is all going to cost some gold. The good thing we have 26 now, and it's not costing any maintenance in terms of gold, just the setup cost, let's say. Right? So let's put it over here, for example. You can see that these guys here, for example, they're gonna move to 23. That's not gonna be enough, to be honest. We're gonna need more. We're gonna need more. I may not have left enough space. I thought this was bringing more desirability. Okay. So the range is not that big, but this is a bit stronger than the other one. Okay. And then, oh, we have a crop ready. Okay, so we're gonna check that. We can also potentially do a bit of a plaza there. But that's costing a lot of gold. Lots of gold. Lots of gold. And yeah, we can't do the upgrade yet either here. We're at 37 of wood planks, we need 60. So let's look at our crop. Our crop is now basically ready. Now there is a lot of details here. They're also showing you some tutorial there, which is basically showing you a lot of the details that we're gonna need to do. There is, you can see it clicking there, by the way. But basically, what is this? It is like 3 years. It's on a 3-year rotation. You're going to choose what do you put in the crop, so that you make sure that the weed level and the rocks decreases and the fertility increases. You may also want to have a better kind of or perfect soil mixture by either adding clay or sand to it. And based on this, you're gonna get a yield. So let me show you. I mean, by the way, we already, like year one has already started. It's not like we can do that much in year one. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some more maintenance to try to get the weed level and rockiness a bit down. Right? This is reducing weed and reducing the rocks. But then next year we can start planting, and you'll see that each crop will come with a lot of very different, let's say, pros and cons. Right? So is it resistance to rocks? Is it resistance to weed? Is it going to suppress the weeds? Is it resistance to heat or to cold? Right? All of those things comes into play to make a bit of a perfect crop, if you wish. So we're gonna do, for example, something like this, and then we can move to something different like this too. I'm not saying this is perfect at all. This is more to show you, right? This is gonna take 6 workers, by the way. So this is quite a lot. I could add if I wanted more to make them work even, better. But yeah, let's keep an eye that, this is 40% rocks, 85% weed, and they're gonna start working on it, and we can see if that changes, right? If that gets better or worse. Over here we have one of our garden trail is done. So this guy over here, oh, this is not a great one because the saw pit is a bit too close. May want to start moving these. So if you look over here, this is relocate the building, and it has indeed a pretty big range. I don't know how I missed that. So we're gonna move it on this side. It's gonna cost, in this case, mostly kind of work hours, and we are now done in money. So it's gonna take a bit of time to build all of this. But so far so good. Even my food is holding nicely. We don't have that much space in the city, but it's also not like I need a lot more people. I think we're okay. Despite those 6 farmers, we do have 6 laborers. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. They're going back home. Let's click on them to see. He is a farmer. He's gonna go cooking. He wants some food. Okay. But if we look there, okay, they haven't done much work, to be honest. It's gonna take a bit of time to get that ready. And it, I put 1 full year of this. At the beginning, you may need more than 1 year, to be honest. And you will also need that regularly, not just once. You can see some of the details over here. But yeah, they basically started this one late, so I don't think we got a lot out of it. Just a bit of weed and rockiness and decrease. Okay, this one has moved. So now if we look at this guy here, is already at 21%. This one is at 22%. 22%. So yeah, when we build a couple more of these, we hopefully will be ready, and by that time hopefully I have also enough planks. So I'll see you when we get there. And here it is, ladies and gents. Year 4 is starting. We're still alive, we still have okay food. And in particular, if you look at my field there, they did this whole year, right, of reducing. So weed went from this super high, what was it, 80, 75% to only 20%. It's not zero. Same for the rocks, not zero yet. So in theory, you probably would want to do even more of these. So I think we're gonna take these ones out, which is this button over here, and we're gonna put even more of that. We cannot do hay. Okay, let's just do even more of this to try to get it, to zero really. But we are now planting, right, our first real crop, some peas. Fertility is gonna go down, but yeah, we can see a yield estimated, around 530. So that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. We have also built over here some of these, right? We have a garden trail over there. Doesn't really provide that much, so I'm thinking of maybe deleting them. We have a big tree in the middle, 2 small bushes, and with this our first shelter over here has reached 30%. I think the other ones are basically at 29, yeah. So not so great, but anyway, that is fine. We have some predators. Wait, where are they? Oh, that was a boar. Okay. We're gonna need to attack them soon, because otherwise they may come into my field over there. Okay, and they may start eating the food here. Look at this. Oh. Yeah, or maybe I'll need to send, you know, the hunters over here. Anyway, more importantly, as I said, we're ready to upgrade our town center to tier 2. We have all of these done and we have 60 wood planks. So let's do it. It's gonna take a while, obviously, for them to deliver all of those resources. Plus, you know, there's always some work, but should be fine. Should be fine. I do think I'm gonna attack those boars there. Yes, let's send the hunters on this side. At least for one of them. Or something like this. Okay, so that's done. That's done. We have not too much firewood. Is that a bug that this didn't restart? Or is it because we have so much reserves in my houses? Yeah, each house is 20, so we may have enough reserves in those houses. Okay, 200 of work, so see you in a sec when that's done. And it is tier 2, look at this. It's not the most beautiful town center, but definitely a bit bigger, a bit sturdier. And it unlocked, obviously, some new resources, including a lot of new decorations that you can see over there. So that's pretty cool. But most importantly, right, we have whole new tiers of amenities. We have new tiers of food over here, like the bakery or the arborist building. We have new resources on this side. We've also unlocked some new things over here in our knowledge tree. So as I said before, I'm gonna start by getting, no, we're not gonna get that one because this is research speed at the academy. I don't have the academy right now. So let's see, birth rate, healer's house, work area for rat catchers, deep wells. Don't really need that right now. Construction speed, not so important. Damages, I'm not really there on all of these. Candle, foundry, we're not really there on many of these on this side. So let's check the food. We have wagon capacity, honey, yield from compost. I'm not actually making compost yet. Disease resistance could be good, tree regrowth rate, fish we already had, the barn, chicken coop, so we're definitely gonna want that one soon. But I'm feeling like first, maybe we just go basics and increase my fish production or my tax. Yeah, let's just go with the tax for now, because I'm a bit low on gold, right? We've been using gold to improve things. And speaking of which, let's see if we can't just improve this homestead. Oh, this homestead has already been improved. Sorry, I forgot about that. They just get improved on their own. As long as everything is there. So this one here hasn't been improved, right? It's still a shelter because it's missing a bit of desirability. But this has already been improved to the homestead instead of shelter. So there is 5 people. It will also increase our money. You can see instead of getting, right, basically 8, we are now getting 1 more with the homestead. So that is great. That is great. And yeah, in terms of this one, we finished the peas. If you look over here, we have like 500 peas in storage. We are starting also now the carrots. Weed and rockness is not too bad, but fertility is also going down. And we lost a bit of carrots because of high temperatures, right? So this is what I was mentioning before, that carrots, they don't really have a high heat tolerance, right? They only have a heat tolerance of 3 out of 10. Versus if you know you're gonna have a lot of heat, maybe more this one, right? The beans is a bit better. So this is also kind of thinking about what do you put at the beginning of the year versus what do you put in the second part of the year. And can I actually put something more there? Oh yeah, I can put even one more here. Okay, we're gonna do that. Population is fine. I do think we should try to upgrade this even further. So I don't really have a lot of space. We don't have like this doesn't improve the desirability. This does improve the desirability, but it is big. Oh, fire. It's not our first fire, but it's interesting to see it. Okay. Knowledge generated. Let me see, large park, small park. Takes a bit too much space, all of these. But I could potentially just take one house out, you know, move it somewhere else. Like, let's say, let's move it over here for now. Let's extend this road a bit more. And this way we'll have space here for park. Alright, so let's go. This one is housing shortage, and that is just because they need to rebuild the old one. But it is. This should help. +5, +6 of desirability for most of them. So I think that's gonna bring all of them to the level 2. It does cost a lot of gold. Look at this, 150. We only have 50 despite our increase right now. But still, I think that's good. I think that's good. Food is okay, especially now that we have this. So it is also time probably for us to start really increasing our population. Maybe building a second small city on this side, as long as it's in the market, you know, space. And I'll see you in a minute. And it is the nice, small park has been built over here, and so all of these now are upgrading. You can see this is upgrading, this one just upgrade, this one too. Here we need a bit of resource and then can upgrade too. And on the other side of the road, right, I've started a new block. We can basically do the same, you know, put the same decorations with the park there, and we'll be able to upgrade also all of this. So population is growing, which means we need to also upgrade our food. We will also be able, as I said, to start making a lot of new buildings that could help, for example, for trading, the school, we have our first temple, we have a festival pole, so many different things, right? And look at this range, like this is a really great range. It's definitely a good one. But first, as I say, I think it'd be good to have a second field, because food, you know, more people means more mouths to feed. But also we need to be careful. We have some raiders on the map. There are some raiders that can attack, you know, come from another region and attack. But these ones, it's even worse. They're on the map. So we're gonna need to defend against them. And we can do two things. If you look at the defenses over here, or three things. We could build some walls, but that's not gonna really help long term. We can build some towers. We have a lookout tower, for example, over here, which you can have better one in the future. But basically this tower could help defend. The problem with this tower is that it costs some monthly upkeep of gold, and we're not making that much gold yet. We could, on the other hand, create a barrack, which in itself doesn't actually cost maintenance of gold. The soldiers will cost maintenance of gold, but not the barrack itself. So I think that's what we're gonna do next. The next episode focus a bit on military, start making maybe also some weapons, some bigger weapons, and as I said, probably also do a second field. Now our first field over here is perfect-ish, meaning it has 0% of weed and rock right now, but the fertility is not that high, right? So we're gonna want to try to increase the fertility, probably add some sand too, but this is not something we've unlocked yet. So yeah, the city is growing slowly but surely. In particular, we have now tier 2 resource, or tier 2 building, sorry. Hope you enjoyed this one, smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.